Today on Dream Rides, we go flying through the Florida mud with some fearsome four-wheelers, and then slide up to Tennessee for a six-pack of fantasy Ford trucks. There's some hard-driving haulers on tap today on Dream Rides. Florida gearheads love to use and abuse their trucks, and if there's water nearby, you can bet that somebody is going to be kicking up some mud. That's exactly what happened at Diesels in the Swamp in Astatula, Florida.
This is one of my toys. It's a 28L mega truck. I use it for pulling tug of war, mud bog, just playing in the mud. It's a big truck, but it's a lot of fun. Drives just like a regular truck. If you hop up in there, it's just like a regular pickup truck inside. I got leather seats, air conditioning, heat, radio. Yesterday we did some tug of war. We did sled pulls. We went through the mud pit yesterday quite a bit. Took a lot of kids for a ride. Just had a good time. That's what we enjoy to do. Just all about having a good mud family. We travel about once a month. We go as far as Redneck Yacht Club in the south, up to Iron Horse. We've gone as far east as Bunnell. We're going to go up to Bricks in Missouri this fall. So we go as far as we can go in the southeast. We hang out with all types of people, but mainly the rednecks. Tug of war is pretty violent inside there, but it's a lot of fun when you beat somebody or when they beat you even. It's a lot of fun. Back and forth, and it's usually all about weight. The heaviest truck wins.
It's a 99 Super Duty. Yeah, we got this truck a couple years ago. Use it to come out and bog and have a good time. And inside we just did a bunch of custom work to it. It's got nice stereo in it. Did custom headliner, put our logo up in the headliner. We put the bumpers on it, got lights in it, the rigid lights. They glow blue. It's got the blue lights underneath of it, all lights up real nice at night. Yeah, we powder coated all the 4-link bars on it and added the blue. We put new wheels on it. We added the shocks to it, changed it up. You know, our company colors are blue and silver and white. So I had a little incident last night. I almost rolled it over. That was a little scary. It took us about an hour to get it out. Now I was just going along, and then the right side fell off in a hole, and it got a little nervous there for a little while. We got everybody else out of the truck, and then it was just me in there in case it did decide to go over. That way, nobody else had got hurt. It's fun being out here. It's a good time. Come out here, hang out with all the friends, family. I had some family come from out of state for this one. So come out here, party, have a good time.
The Diesels in the Swamp event is the brainchild of Kenny Thompson of KT Performance.
Performance, we've been in business for 10 years. We sell truck performance parts, accessories, everything from floor mats to turbos, transmission parts, and we've been, this is our big way to celebrate our 10 years. It's been a blessing. Business is doing well for us, and we just keep on promoting and moving up. Well, this weekend at Diesels in the Swamp, we've had a lot of excitement. Everything from tug of war trucks, we've had sled pull trucks, trucks playing in the mud on the dyno, and a show and shine. So a lot of different things going on this weekend. Well, this is our first year having the event. It's been a huge success. We've got people coming from all over the place. We've got people coming as far as West Virginia, Texas, South Carolina, coming all the way here to Central Florida. Everybody's already asking about next year. Yes, we're having next year. A lot of people are actually camping on site, so we have the whole campground is completely full. We did make it a family-friendly event, so we've got kids 10 and under come in free. Yesterday, we were doing monster truck rides, so all the kids were getting rides in some of the big trucks. Some of the big trucks are having a good time, and the little trucks, they get a little too far in the deep end, and they have to get pulled out. We've got some 6x6 tow trucks, old military tow trucks. These things are huge. They've done a few different events already. They got involved with the sled pull. They also did some tug of war action. We'll probably have them out here for the show and shine as well today. We had monster trucks hooked to the sled pull. We had 4 or 5 monster trucks all giving the sled pull a try, which is really unique, something you're not going to see anywhere else. Then afterwards, we had them up on the tug of war pad trying to drag each other across 200 feet of concrete.
The truck is a 2008 Chevy Duramax LTZ model. It's a lot of fun. You think you're going really fast when you're in it and you're moving about 10 miles an hour, but when you see mud flying on the roof of the truck, you know you're doing a pretty good job. We try to do an event at least once a month, if not about once every other month. Can't be afraid of it. You know, a lot of people start to get insecure when they start going down into certain areas because there are parts that are deeper than other parts of it, and you just got to feel the bottom and keep moving through it. Don't second guess yourself. I do the tug of wars, that's a lot of fun. Truck performs pretty well. I did the sled pull here for the first time, and we took third place for our class truck, so that was pretty cool. We used to have a swamp buggy before this, and kind of rode around on the swamp buggy and kind of got into it, and I decided that I wanted to spend more time actually in the mud pit, spending a little more time bogging and not as much time driving around the parking lot. So we got this, and we try to use it as much as possible.
More diesels in the swamp are coming up after the break, including a polished and patriotic pickup. Stay with us for more Dream Rides. Dream Rides is being brought to you by Steel Rubber Products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. KT Performance. For all your truck performance needs, choose KT Performance. Z-Max, the one product for your engine, transmission, and fuel system. And by Dustless Blasting. It's the future of surface preparation. Welcome back to Central Florida Motorsports Park and Diesels in the Swamp. Let's peruse some more pickups.
It's a 1979 Ford Bronco. It's been fully restored, customized, different. It's got a 521 cubic inch big block Ford. When it was first built, it produced 800 horsepower, and then it does have a 400 shot of nitrous on it, but we really never used it. It's been used once, and the motor didn't like it. I think 800 is plenty enough horsepower for it, and it lights the 44s up with no problem. Truck's built for show and shine, tug of war, sled pull, just to be different and have fun in it. Just weekend drive, play with it, and do whatever you want with it, really. I've been to a couple shows lately, but other than that, it's been sitting in the garage for a while. It was my uncle's, and he kind of passed it down to me, and I'm just trying to keep it going now. Inside, it's got a full stereo system. It's got so many lights, I can't even count them right now. Switches that they're all labeled. It's just something different. You don't see many Broncos around like this. I don't have many plans for it right now. Just, I don't want to change it. It's been this way for 20 years, and what's the point in changing it now? I like old school stuff, so.
It's a 2015 GMC Denali dually. It has a EGR delete, exhaust, tuner, 10-12 lift. It has JL audio, surround sound speakers in the back. We got about 25 grand invested in the stereo, 135,000 invested in the whole truck. I love shows, I love truck pulls. Last night we pulled, we won first place, broke a U-joint, but you know, we still had two-wheel drive. When they say go, go, no brakes, give it gas. If it breaks, you stop. Then you fix it stronger. Go back out again. The grill, we had that custom made. I wanted something different that nobody else has. Can't be the same as everybody else. You gotta have something different. I got LED lighting all the way around it. I got 16 rock lights. I got wheel lights. I just got the headliner done in it. There's still a list of stuff still to do, but slowly. This is a work truck. It's my everyday vehicle. I got airbags in the back. I got a 26-foot merchandise trailer that I pull with. I do fence work, so I haul fence posts in the back, concrete, cement blocks. It's not just a princess pavement, no.
It's a 1981 Dodge Crew Cab Power Wagon, 4-wheel drive Cummins diesel. It comes from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and it's a JSOC truck, 27 years. It was a military truck. It's special because it was the inception of SOCOM, and it's the same year. So as soon as I seen it, when I was on the hospital bed going through about 12 surgeries, it kind of rung in my mind, and it's my dream truck to have. SOCOM started in '81 with the Operation Eagle Claw, and for me it had a lot of meaning. I'm a SF guy, EOD, and it means a lot to my heart. 19 years and 6 months now I've been still active duty in the military, and I myself am now injured quite a bit, and so as I was laying on my hospital bed, it gave me something to take my mind off, so I started building it up. From 1981 to 1987, on the left side there is a Griffin, that's the original insignia, and then from 1987 to now is the Spade, and on the right side you'll see a Spade. And so in 2015, SOCOM actually gave me the legal rights to call this a US SOCOM Edition truck. And so I have named it the SOCOM Edition. So it has insignias underneath the 250 turbo diesel Cummins that says SOCOM Edition.
...2002 Ford F-250, 7.3 Power Stroke, and I got a little bit of mods done to the engine. Full LED lights under the truck and the headlights. Inside the truck I got it all hydro dipped and paint matched to the truck. The only thing I had done to it when I bought it was the lift kit. Everything else, I turned every bolt on it, front to back. I bought it, it was lifted, that was it. The lift was on there, but I did everything else. I was actually going to repaint the truck, but everybody just fell in love with the red and chrome, and I just sticking with it. The headlights custom built by Kyle Hurt in Fort Myers with the LED pods and the custom halo rings and the paint matched chrome part to the headlight. She does not see any mud. Matter of fact, when I came in here, I drove in the grass. I didn't even drive on that wet road. Mostly that's my daily driver show truck. What's next for is going to be 4-linked all the way around coilovers. It's awesome. Since I bought this truck and started taking it to shows, I've met so many people. It's like just like a big family out here. I enjoy every one of them.
Coming up on Dream Rides, we'll say goodbye to that F-250 and all of his friends and swing some 600 miles to the north for the F-100 Supernationals. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Dream Rides at the F-100 Supernationals in Lebanon, Tennessee.
The F-100 Supernationals is open to all Ford products, even the Ford Mercury products, and the automobiles, you know, like the Fairlanes, the Mustangs. We have a few of each of those here. It's a gathering of friends, family, and F-100 fanatics.
It's a 67 F-100 4x4. It was factory built as a 4x4. And it was built late production 66, so it's an early 67. Originally it was sold out of Weiser, Idaho, through Ryder Ford. It was sold for a special order for a customer. Needed restoration. I saw it and purchased it at that point. It got used as a work truck like they all did back in that day. So I chose to do a full restoration on it. I disassembled it right to every last nut, bolt, and screw, and did everything myself except for the red paint. It was built new with a 306 in it. I put the 460 in it. It was fairly stock for 15 or 16 years, and a few years back I tore all the tin back off the frame, covered it up in a corner, redid all the chassis. This truck was a Marty report on the board behind me in front of the truck, and that states that this truck was one of 16 as it was built when it was new. So as it stands right now, it's modified, obviously, but if you reassembled it by the factory build sheet, you would have one of 16, and probably the only one left in the country, I would almost guess. So for that reason, I really wanted to preserve it, and I've just always liked the look of something that looks like it is fully functional, and you could do that if you wanted to, and you wouldn't break it, but I wouldn't want to do it to it.
This is a 1953 Ford F-100. It was Grandpa's truck, and he gave it to me when I was 12. Had a lot of fun with the truck over the years. Raised a family, had a business, so the truck sat at times, and of course, like most other stories, it's been down and up and built and rebuilt, and we just have a lot of fun driving it. Well, first of all, of course, it's completely taken apart, every nut and bolt, and It's had multiple engines throughout the years, different sizes and horsepower, of course, different transmissions, but kind of tried the things that worked. Don't necessarily know what worked, but I know what didn't work. So it's still a work in progress, of course. It was all original whenever I got it. It still had the flathead, 3-speed, and didn't take long before that came out. Just needed a little bit more drivability. It is on full air ride suspension, front and rear. The bed is a custom tilt. The interior was done several years ago. It's in the tweed, two-tone tweed. It'll get passed on to my son or one of my children one of these days. I'm going to get in trouble with that one. But it will be handed down.
It's a 1977 F-100. Just about everything's been done. It was a total frame-off restoration. Every nut and bolt is brand new. The only thing left original is the roof and the firewall. Originally, it was a farm truck. Used to haul hay on the farm. And I got a whim one day and said, hey, let's do something with it. Started out with doing the chassis, tubbing the truck, cutting the rear down, getting all that done. Did the motor and trans. It does pretty good. It does pretty good for a 5,000-pound truck. We ran it a little bit before we did the frame off. On motor, the truck runs 1120s. It's been finished about 1.5 years. We got about 5,000 miles on it. Drive it everywhere we can. 60 miles an hour, it will go anywhere you want to go. The young kids love it to death. The middle-aged, they're kind of back and forth on it, you know, and then the older folk are going, it's just too noisy, you know. What'd you do that for? You know? So you get all kinds of reactions, but it's fun. You get a lot of attention. It's very fun to drive. We sat down and we made a list, me and my son. Hey, this is things that we've always wanted. You know, tubbed out, roll cage, nitrous, motor out the hood. So we just kind of went with it from there. It will be his. The funny thing is he has just as much time in it as I do, and he will not drive it. That was a good father-son project before he went in the service.
There's still more unique trucks to come on Dream Rides from Lebanon, Tennessee, including a rare Ford from the 50s that ran a little moonshine back in the day. Stay with us. Dream Rides is being brought to you by Steel Rubber Products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. Clamp Tight, the clamp making tool. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radio since 1977. And by rockauto.com, all the parts your car will ever need. Welcome back to Dream Rides and the Ford F-100 Supernationals. Our next truck is a very rare model that is actually well done.
It is a 1952 F3 Ford truck, and from what they told me last year, they'd never seen one like it before in their lives. It's 100% original, and my wife and myself have worked on this truck for 15 solid, wonderful years. And I got sick last year, and so she got really on my case, and she said, we need to get this thing done. And I figured, well, let's try it. So we brought it last year and had the unveiling last year. And we did quite well on the show. Well, I can tell you what it did. Back in 1952, they bought this thing off the showroom floor. They were moonshiners out of Tuscaloosa County, Alabama. You might think I'm crazy, but it's the gospel truth. I promised the old guy that I got it from that I would put it back to its original state. Unfortunately, the Lord called him early, and I never got to show him, but I showed his sons, and they were amazed at it. It's been 3 years in the body shop. So everything, as far as I know, is like near original or better. It's done. I don't believe I can say that, but it is totally, completely done.
The truck is a 1960 Ford F-100. Been nicknamed Franken Ford by several people, including kind of went through Diesel Power magazine and everything also. And it's just been a fun little truck to build. Lots of fun, lots of attention. It's a little C3.4 liter out of a 297C Caterpillar skid steer is what it actually come out of. The real rat rod theme is, you know, to work with what you got laying around. So that's pretty much what was done with this. It was pretty much anything that I could find laying around or already had. I tried to buy as little as possible and tried to make everything work with what was already there. The shift knob, one of my buddies actually picked that up in Pigeon Forge. And he's like, hey, he said, I seen that. I just thought it'd be neat to, you know, to top off the shifter. I was like, yeah, that works for me. So the keg, I always wanted to do one with a keg just because it's a little different. And it worked, and it was readily available because it was sitting there in the corner of the shop. The front half of the truck, the hood, the fenders, the doors, the cab, all that stuff is exactly the way it looked when I pulled it out of the woods.
This is a 1953 Ford F-100, and it's considered a rat rod. He's a rat. He's chewing on the rodeo bull skull. Got the rat rod hood ornament. Last spring I built it. It took about a month and a half, 2 months to build it from start to finish. I got a wagon wheel, hay rake wheel cut in half for sideboards, and then old lumber, and I got the cotton picker spindle hand on the exhaust. And I got my hanging basket for decorations, and got a little wind vane back there, the rooster. And we found that poem on a scrap piece of paper in a family Bible, and it said it was written in 1911. And we don't know who wrote it. It was just in there on a piece of paper, and I had it printed in vinyl, and I put it on there for now until the state troopers catch me with it in front of my face, and then I'll have to take it off. That's the whole thing about car shows, is sort of to be unique. Amongst all this pretty stuff, there's always something unique, and people flock to them now. They love rat rods.
That's all the fun for this week. Join us again next week for more Ford F-100s from Lebanon, Tennessee. See you then.